Just near my house is a little public library where people can drop things off and you're free to take them, books and DVDs and the like. I check it out at least once a week. I've pulled out a plethora of DVDs that I otherwise would not have bought, and yeah, this is one of them. Arthur, starring Russell Brand, from 2011, a film that I've pretty much avoided, to be honest, given its reputation. It was sat there for free. I figured, whatever, I'll give it a watch. Not really expecting anything more than a 2-star film, to be honest, but I thought if it gets a couple of laughs out of me, then fine, whatever. It's done its job. I remember seeing in the trailer something to do with the Batmobile, and I think always been curious as to what that was all about. I enjoyed this film. It's got like a 2.4 on Letterboxd, and I don't understand Letterboxd sometimes. I feel like it's really unfair. I've seen much worse comedies than this. Much worse comedies than this. I've never been a fan of Russell Brand until recent years. For anyone who's like familiar with like his kind of change, so to speak, he's become a bit more of a seeker of truth. You can argue the toss with me about whether or not he's guilty or innocent of the things he's been accused of recently, but certainly I look at who he was compared with who he is and who he's trying to be now, and I can't help but see a definitive change in the man. So yeah, I've come to respect him more in recent years than I previously did. So I think much of whether or not you like this film or not will hinge on the degree to how much you can tolerate Russell Brand's buffoonery, to rob a quote from Tommy Lee Jones, aimed at Jim Carrey, which is quite apt given that the Batmobile from Batman Forever appears in this film in a rather amusing sequence, it's got to be said. So obviously this is a remake of the film with what's his face? Can't remember his name. I never liked it anyway. I saw it as a kid. It's yet another reason I was never particularly drawn to this. A remake of a film I didn't like to begin with, that starred someone that I wasn't that particularly interested in. Again, as I say, until recent years. But it's got a lot of heart. And one of the draws for this now is actually Greta Gerwig, who's obviously gone on to become quite the filmmaker. But she's really charming in this film. Every time her and Brand are on screen together, I'm really charmed. I loved Helen Mirren in this film. She plays the butler, or the maid. Can a woman be called a butler? Is there some kind of gender thing there going on there? She's a servant, okay? She's the woman who's looked after him his whole life, and basically the surrogate mother. And I really enjoyed that relationship. I enjoyed the chemistry between Mirren and Brand. I mean, Helen Mirren's a great actress anyway. She rarely turns in a performance of ill repute. So, if ever, I really liked her here. And I liked that relationship between the two of them. Is it going to blow you away? Is it going to do anything that's not been done 1,000 times before? No, not really. It's typical relationship kind of comedy where you have someone who's a bit of a numbnuts, bit of a knob, not very responsible, and love makes them responsible. Love changes them. And that's it. It's very basic. But other than that, I enjoyed it. I thought it was moving. I thought it was made with love by, I can't remember the name of the director, but clearly he's not just half-assed it. It feels like a film made with genuine passion. And I laughed. I genuinely laughed at multiple points in the film and found myself caring about these characters that on paper don't really feel like people I should be caring about all that much. So, it didn't blow me away, but I felt the need to just talk about it, mention it, just maybe point people in its direction if they'd perhaps felt previously the same that I'd felt about it going in, because I was pleasantly surprised. It's a film I expected nothing of and walked away from it feeling pleasantly surprised. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Arthur if you've seen it. Bit of a random ass review. I know it's just like I don't normally review comedies. It's just throwing it out there. If you've seen it, let me know what you think about it down below. Thank you for watching this review, and until next time, cracking.